Good evening, Gary Smith, Andrew Danishin. Thank you for joining us after this weird result, I think is the word. 5-3 defeat at home to Gainsborough. 8 goals, a lot of mistakes, a lot of indecisive defending along the way, and we just never seem to get going.
No, we didn't give ourselves a fighting chance from the kick-off. We started badly, which is unusual because the boys have been on it, and they're usually much better than they were. And then we conceded 2 quick fire goals, which then gave us a mountain to climb. And although we didn't play as well and as fluently as we have been doing, you're right, it was a weird game. It was a weird scoreline as well. The fact that we scored 3 goals, even when we thought we hadn't played well, we still managed to score 3 goals. I mean, since me and Andrew took over, this is the first time I've seen our defence concede, more than 2. I think that's the first time. 3, more than 3 goals. First time, it was strange. It just didn't happen for us today. It was one of those games, and I could be critical of the boys and say, oh, they didn't do this and they didn't do that. But at the end of the day, to be fair to them, listen, them boys have been magnificent from day one, the beginning of the season to now. So yes, it's a defeat that we're not happy about, obviously, because we're out of the cup. But we've now got one subject to focus on, so maybe that might be a good thing for us.
Andrew, I know you typically get emotional when you see your team get defeated, and that's what fans want to see. But I know you pride yourselves on the tactical side of the game, and of course keeping clean sheets. But to be 2 down within 10 minutes today, you must have been horrified.
Yeah, I mean, the tactical side of the game is one element of it where you give the instructions out, and then players have got to go out and do them and carry out them instructions, their roles and responsibilities. Like Smudge said, the lads have been doing that consistently throughout this season. Today to be 2-0 down, for me that's just Gainsborough. They've got a new manager in. It's a bit like when me and Smudge came in and the impact we had quickly. They was up for the game in that first half. I just think they showed a bit more appetite for the game in terms of wanting it and will to win, and and so you've got the tactical side, but then you've got to follow out them roles and responsibilities. And you've said it, it's individual decision making or mistakes in them elements and them moments which have cost us a goal. For example, the first one, not picking up the 11 who scored, that's an individual decision making or error. So for me, it's the frustration of the individual things that we've done wrong today. But normally, like as I said, the team, I think that's our 24th game, so it's a lot of games in a small period of time, and the lads have been excellent for the majority of them games. This is the 2nd game this season I can think of where the lads haven't carried out their roles and responsibilities like they normally do.
Okay, now I know you 2 guys quite well, and I know that you're ultimately very positive people. So what positives can you take out of the performance today?
Like I said, I mean, the fact that we've not played very well, but we've still managed to score 3 goals. We've got goals amongst the side, and we've got players that we can bring in. And like I said to the boys before today, listen, it doesn't matter what the personnel is. We're well drilled. We know what the system is. And normally things do go to plan. Today wasn't the best. Like I said, the positive thing is that we've scored 3 goals when we haven't played very well. We'll look at that. We'll analyse the bad things that we've done, obviously, come quickly before Tuesday, and we'll try and rectify all of the mistakes that were out there today. And the mistakes that we don't normally see. So I'm still positive because, like I said, most part of this season them boys have been tremendous, so I could sit here and be critical, but I just don't feel that there's any need to be. It is a defeat. We are disappointed, obviously we're out of the cup, but we'll definitely pick the boys up before Tuesday and we'll bounce back.
Andrew, how do you think that the result and the performance to a degree will affect the confidence of the squad going forward?
I don't think it will affect the confidence. I think that I actually think sometimes you learn more from your defeats. So if you look this season, how we bounced back after our defeats, we bounced back really well. So I don't think it'll affect the confidence of the lads, and there's some experienced lads in there. You learn more from your defeats, and for me, the one for me is that you take every game and give it due care and attention, every game from minute 1 to the end. So that's sort of like a learning curve, and maybe something that we need to move forward with. What I will say as well as positives is that there was no injuries today, which is a positive, and it does allow us to focus on the league, which is our primary sort of focus, if you like.
Okay, Gary, a number of fans have actually asked me to ask this question. Notable absence today, Ryan Bezic. Could you explain why he was not in the squad today?
Yeah, Ryan's been carrying a little bit of an injury for a little while, a little bit of a foot injury. And we thought it would be better today not to risk making it any worse. He's had an x-ray on it and he's been given the all clear, which is fantastic, but he'll be up and ready for us to go on Tuesday.
Brilliant. Okay, next up is a tough looking game on Tuesday at home again to Aldchurch, and we're looking to remain in top spot. Yeah,
like I said, that's the priority. We'll sort of re-energise and refocus on that, and there's a buzz in the change room about the league this year from the players. That's been their priority, if you like. Some teams have cup priorities. This team have got sort of like league priorities. That's been the talk in the change room and the feeling in the camp, and no fear that the lads will bounce back, you know, and get it right Tuesday, and that's what we'll be working towards over the weekend and Monday.
Our final question is, did anybody stand out today amongst that mayhem and stake a claim really for starting on Tuesday?
Well, I think Rhys Onus has played his way into the starting 11. I thought he was fantastic today from minute one right the way through. His desire and work rate today was exceptional. He never stopped, he didn't give up, he continued running even when we were losing the game by, you know, 2 or 3 goals, and he's helped us to claw this back, you know, and put a bit of respectability to the score, even though we've, you know, lost the game 5-3. I thought Ahmed and Casaboni looked really sharp, and those guys obviously are fresh, and so maybe we'll have a look at things and we may tweak things before we get to Tuesday, but we will see.
It's always we will see.
We will see.
As always, guys, thank you very much for your time. We'll catch up with you again after Tuesday's game.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you.